Liquid. Liquid is one of three principal states of matter. In its characteristics, a liquid is settled between a solid and a gas. The other two principal states. Students, a liquid is a fluid. As with all forms of matter, a liquid is composed of particles known as atoms that move about in relation to each other. Students, each state is distinguished from the others by the behavior of its particles. The particles in a liquid are situated near each other but are not as close together as particles in a solid, nor as far apart as those in gases. Unlike the particles in solids, which are fixed in position or place, the particles in liquid can slide past each other. So, students, we can conclude that the particles in a liquid are loosely arranged. They are not arranged in an order, which means in a disorderly manner. Students, liquid have a definite volume. The volume of a liquid can be measured and generally is expressed in units of liters. Students, the shape of a liquid changes depending on the vessel containing it. If a given volume of a liquid is poured into a tall, narrow container, the liquid takes on a tall, narrow shape. If that liquid is transferred to a rounded ball, it retains the same volume, because liquids have a definite volume, as I told you before, but it takes on a rounded shape. These properties help to distinguish the liquid state from a solid and a gaseous state of matter. So, students, I can say that liquids take on the shape of container or vessel in which they are placed, which means that they have an indefinite shape, that is, not a fixed shape. Students, the behavior of particles in each state of matter depends upon the strength of the attractive forces between them. The attractive forces between the particles in a liquid are weak enough to let the particles move around each other, but strong enough to keep them from flying apart. So, forces of attraction between particles are less strong than solids, you can say the moderate one. They allow the particles to move around. Particles do not have fixed positions, they move about freely throughout the liquid. Students, liquids can flow because their particles can move away and towards each other. They fill the containers they are poured into. Liquids are incompressible. They cannot be compressed as particles are very close to each other, as you can see in the diagram as well. Liquids have large interparticle spaces as compared to solids. Now, you can watch a video clip for a better understanding. Now, a question for you all. Why does a liquid have a fixed volume? The particles of a liquid are further away from one another than the particles of a solid. However, the liquid particles are still packed quite closely together. Thus, a liquid cannot be compressed and hence has a fixed volume. Now, the third state, that is gas. Students, gas is one of the three principal states of matter. The properties of gases are distinctly different from those of liquids and solids, the other principal states. Kids, like all matter, gases have mass, take up space, and are composed of particles called atoms that move in relation to each other. As I previously mentioned, each state of matter is distinguished from the others by the behavior of its particles. So, the particles in a gas are farther apart as compared to the particles in liquid and solids. The attractive forces that keep particles close together in a solid and the liquid state are very weak in the gas state. As a result, the particles in a gas can flow freely in every direction, as you can see in the figure as well. Particles are not held together tightly. Gases have no fixed shape and volume. Gases have no fixed shape and volume. In contrast, both solids and liquids have a definite volume, and solids have a fixed shape. Liquids lack a shape of their own but take on the shape of their vessel that contains them. Gases take the shape of their container. Gases will fill any closed container. Gas particles move freely in all directions. They occupy all available spaces. Because particles in a gas are free of attractive forces and can move easily in every direction. The distances between the gas particles are much greater than those of solids and liquids, as you can see in the figures as well. Students, gases can be compressed because of lot of free space between the particles as compared to a liquid and a solid. Or you can say that particles are widely spaced. It allows the gas to be easily compressed when pressure is applied. Students, pressure is a way of measuring how much force is acting over an area, so their particles can be forced close together. Kids, when a gas is put under pressure by reducing the volume of the container, the space between the particles is reduced and gas is compressed, as you can see in the figure. Gases can flow easily because there are very weak forces of attraction between them. Particles are far apart from each other. As you can see in the figure, the CO2 particles are flowing easily in every direction. Particles of gases are constantly colliding with each other and with the walls of the container. In this way, they exert pressure, they exert force. Now you can watch a small video clip. Now here is a comparison between the properties of solid, liquid and gases. The property is the shape, and solids have a definite or fixed shape. Liquids have indefinite shape, they take the shape of the container or the vessel. Gases have indefinite shape, they take the shape of the vessel or their container. Volume. Solids have a definite or fixed volume, liquids have definite or fixed volume, and gases have indefinite or not a fixed volume. Arrangement of particles. Solids, they have orderly arranged particles, or you can say particles are packed tightly together. In liquids, there is no order, disorderly arranged, or you can say that particles are less closely or tightly packed as compared to solids. Gases have no order of their particles, disorderly arranged, or you can say particles are loosely packed, or you can say they are far apart as compared to solids and liquids. The attractive forces between the particles. Solids have very strong forces of attraction between the particles, or you can say the maximum forces of attraction between the particles. Liquids have strong, or you can say less forces of attraction between the particles as compared to solids. Gases have very weak attraction forces, or you can say less force of attraction between the particles as compared to both solids and the liquids. Now, space between the particles. In solid state, there is no space between the individual particles. In liquids, they have large interparticle spaces as compared to solids. However, in gases, there is a lot of free space between the particles as compared to both solids and the liquid state. Compressibility. Solids cannot be compressed. Liquids cannot be compressed. However, gases can be compressed. Fluidity. Liquids and solids both can flow. However, solids cannot flow, liquids can flow, and gases can flow as well. Motion of the particles. Particles cannot move in solids, rather they vibrate only at their mean positions, as you can see in the figure as well. In liquids, particles can slide past each other. They can move freely throughout the liquid, as you can see in the figure. And in gases, particles can move about rapidly or freely in every direction. I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Keep finding the three states of matter at your homes and to discuss their properties with your siblings and parents. I see you soon. Till then, goodbye.